finally warm enough to come out and check out the creek here at the park by the library. There are a lot of people out today. They're doing construction. So a bunch of youngsters over there enjoying their day. Creek's dry though. All the creeks are pretty dry. So I'm gonna take just a short walk. 77 degrees is what my car said. And I think it's supposed to get up to 79 today. I think. I'm gonna try not to hold this phone at it though. Whenever I'm walking and talking, I have the phone down here, which is the worst angle. It shows everything wrong. It's better to have an angle like this. But then I gotta walk around with my hand up in the air and not be so in my face with it either. But that's okay. I'm willing to do it for you. I went over to this bench. It should be nice and, what do you call it, shady. I have a bench over here, but it's kind of like, I think it's more direct sun. I think right here would be a little bit better. I don't know now. You can't really see me, can you? Oh my gosh. All right, let's try this bench over here. We are approaching the bench. I'm chomping away on some gum. I'm gonna have to take that out. Sirens. Fire guy. Oh my. Oh my. I brought my phone stand. I need to put it on. Okay, got the phone a little bit farther away. Hopefully that'll be helpful. I'm trying to angle this so I can hold it a little bit better. There we go. Now it's not so close to me. More fire trucks. Here they come, see them? Must have been some kind of wreck. That thing on the back of that truck had a bunch of cables attached to a small vehicle with wheels, so I don't know what all that means. I was doing stuff around my house trying to organize and everything. Oh look, my ring. I have this ring that was so tarnished. I haven't worn it for years. I've had it for years because it was actually a size for when I weighed a lot more. I have to have a ring guard in it. And I saw online that you can use Windex to get rid of minor to moderate tarnish. So I said, well, let me try this. So I poured some Windex into like a plastic container and put my ring in there, and then I got a toothbrush and scrubbed it, and it came clean. So I haven't worn this ring in years, and now it's not as good as if the jeweler would do it, but it's pretty darn good. So there you have it. If you need to clean some mildly tarnished sterling silver jewelry, then get you some Windex, honey, and an old toothbrush or a new toothbrush, but just don't reuse your toothbrush on yourself. And start scrubbing away at that jewelry. I had some earrings that were my mom's, and they're like, you remember the old-fashioned earrings where you would screw it in, it would screw onto your ear? And it's like, I don't know, I want to say they're like geisha girls, but I don't think they are. I should show them to you. I'll insert the video of them when I get back home. They're like two little women, and their bottom of their bodies swish back and forth. One of them's holding like a pole, but the other one, her head fell off. And I was thinking that maybe I could either try to glue like a little, you know, like a little fake pearl on there for the head, or possibly get like a little circular piece of silver and maybe try to solder it on there some kind of way. I do have one of those heat guns. Maybe I could heat it up enough to where it would stick. Otherwise, because I think going to a jeweler to do something so minor like that, it would probably cost $100. And I don't know how well it would work if I tried to glue a pearl onto the top of silver, because I'm pretty sure it's silver, because where the head fell off, it had been soldered on there, and you gotta have a metal to solder it. So anyway, it worked real good on that. I soaked it in there not too long because I was afraid, you know, I would mess it up. It's very old. And then I gently scrubbed it and it came clean. Most of the little tiny jewels that were in it have already fallen out. There's just a couple left. And yeah, I know that it's just costume jewelry. It's not anything of value, but I would like to put the head on, and then I could maybe wear them. It'd be nice if I could even find a way to replace the screw-on part with like a hook type thing. And I could hook it into my ear, and that would be way better. I prefer those kind of earrings anyway. So I'll look into that. Maybe a jeweler would charge as much as I think they would. It is a nice, peaceful, lovely day. The trees are still kind of bare. But I guess they're trying. There's something in that tree over there. I think it's a bird. There it is. I think it's a bird. Looking at it in the magnification of the camera, I think it's a bird. I'm just getting a side view of it. Almost looks like a woodpecker in a way. Whoa, my balance is not good today. I've got a bit of a vertical thing going on. Where'd it go? Is it up higher? There it is. I sat back down. I tell you, I'm struggling today. You know, I always mention about positive self-talk. I'm really needing it for myself today. All this stuff that's going on in the country right now has me so on edge. And you think to yourself, I'll take a break from listening to what's happening for a day or two. But literally, it's something new every single day. And I know I can't be the only person feeling like this. It's just weighing real heavy on me. So I thought I'd come outside and get some fresh air. And try to enjoy the day a little bit. Hi! Little kid just walked by. I enjoy watching the little kids out here having fun. They don't have a care in the world. Man, when we were kids, all we cared about was growing up and getting out of the house as fast as we could. We didn't know how lucky we had it. We didn't have to worry about nothing. Somebody did everything for us, and all we had to do was play and eat, sleep and potty. That was it. And ask for stuff. And then most of the time, if we cried and whined, we'd get the stuff. And that was our joyous life as a kid. Now, we grown. We grown, child. There's some good things to being grown. It is nice to be able to do what you want to do. However, you got to suffer the consequences of doing whatever it is you want to do if you didn't make the right choice. They're coming up behind me. There's like a circular walking trail here for this park. And go round and round in a circle. They're starting a new fitness thing in my town as a pilot run. They're building a new community center, which is going to be pretty large. Right now, in our current community center, it's pretty small. But they're going to start the fitness thing at the community center, the one that's standing now. And they're going to have all kinds of classes. They're going to have line dancing for seniors. And they're going to have like a chair exercise class. It's not going to be chair yoga. I think it's going to be more of a chair aerobics. And they're calling it what are they calling it? Mediterranean dance or something, but really it's belly dance. And they're having a regular yoga. Oh, they're having like at least 4 or 5 different things, at least 4. And it's only going to be, the majority of the classes are $50 for 12 weeks, which I think is a really good deal. And so I'm thinking that I'm going to do that. They're going to have an open house on March 3rd, and I think I'm going to go to the open house because they're going to have demonstrations of the classes, like, you know, the exercises that they're going to offer. And so I think I'm going to go to that and check it out. And he'll give me something to do. I'm been debating about if I should try to get another part-time job. It was so hard on my body though. I really enjoyed it, but it was really, really hard on my feet and my back to stand like that for so long. So I don't know what to do. I'm debating, going back and forth. Of course, you know, money is the motivator because you get money if you work a little bit. But then I feel like a broke down granny at the end of every shift. So broke down granny with some money in her pocket, or just regular granny with no money in her pocket? That is the question. That is the question. That is the question. But we're getting more things to do in this town, and I'm glad about that. We have a swim center. They're expanding and building a really big community center. And they're building something they're calling the Aquatic Center, which is, from what I can tell, they're just building next to or adding on to the existing swim center, and they're adding like a big splash pad area for the kids. And then in a park that we already have, they're upgrading the park, and they've added a splash pad area for the kids over there as well. So I think if you're into fitness and being outdoors, they got a lot of things that you can do here. I just discovered where the building is that they have plays at the university. And the tickets are more affordable than I thought they were. My friend was telling me that the tickets were about $15. I'm like, what? I thought they were way more than that. So I think I'm gonna try to squeeze doing a play every so often. I really, really like going to plays, and It's been years since I've gone to one. I grew up in Minnesota. When I was in Minnesota, my mom and I went to a lot of plays, or a lot of plays to me, maybe not a lot of plays to a true theater goer. But and we enjoyed it so much. One of my favorite plays that I ever saw was The Wiz, but it wasn't with Stephanie Mills. It was a different young woman, and she was really good, and we had front row seats. We were like either in the first row or the second row. And the girl who played Dorothy had a cold, and you could see her nose running. That's how close we were. And but she performed and sang so beautifully, and I thought, she must feel miserable with her nose running like that, and she still gotta sing and dance and run all around the stage. But she gave it everything she had. She left nothing on the table, as the young people say. And it was one of the best plays that I've ever seen. Yeah, I want to start doing stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know, at least a couple plays a season. At least one play a season. If I went to one play a season, that would be good. I'd be okay with that. So, there are things to do here in this town. I always have dreams of moving somewhere else that's more fun and exciting. But I can find things to do here that are affordable, and the bigger the city, the more things cost. I remind myself of that all the time. So, there's a give and a take to everything. Oh my gosh. My lips are so dry out here. I didn't even try to put makeup on or look decent for y'all. I hope you don't mind. I hope y'all don't mind. It's just little old me today, with nothing extra. I set my hair yesterday, and I didn't want to sit under the hair dryer. Yeah, the hair dryer just got. I didn't want to sit under it, so I kept the rollers on all day. Then I tried to lay down, and the rollers were hurting my head so bad. I was like, oh my gosh. So I went ahead and got up and sat under the hair dryer for about 45 minutes, I think it was. But I had sprayed so much of that Wild product on there that it felt a little waxy. But look, even when and then I took the hair dryer brush and smoothed it out. Look, I don't care what I do. I don't care how I set my hair. Frizz on me, okay? It's gonna poof, it's gonna frizz. It's gonna... I do not understand how women who have thicker, curlier, coarser hair than me, what are y'all doing that's working to keep your hair from poofing after you set it? Or even, it doesn't matter if I flat iron it, blow dry it and flat iron it, or roller set it. It hasn't mattered yet what product I use. Every now and then I'll set my hair and I'll get a good roller set and it'll stay really, really straight. But then the next time I do it, it's back to this again. I don't know what I did right that one time that I'm not doing any of the other times. But if you got some tips and tricks or product recommendations, send it my way, because I sure need some help. I feel like when I was younger and I roller set my hair, I felt satisfied with the results more than I have in the last 4 or 5 years. I don't know. Maybe my hair was doing this before and I just didn't care as much as I do now. Oh, they're gonna have bingo at the library. I like playing bingo. I think it's fun. I don't go very often. They have bingo in the building I live in. There's a group of ladies that are always in the family room enjoying time in there. Not family room, what do you call it? Community room. And they have like a friend group. I'm gonna walk away from this bench now. They have a friend group and they do bingo, and But anyway, I'm going to head back to the car because I have a headache and my balance feels a little bit off. And so I think it'd be better if I just go home. So I thank you for watching, and I ask you to keep on talking to yourself positively, because that's what I'm trying to do. And pray. If you're a praying person, we need prayer now more than ever. So I thank you so much for hanging out with me. There's a lady out here suntanning herself. I remember my best friend in high school, she always had to get a tan. And then she said she would get so mad because I would sit in the sun and 10 minutes later I would look darker. She'd be out there for an hour and she would just be red. She would get so mad at me. Anyway, back to the goodbye. I'll talk to y'all next time, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.